Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all of the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right. So we are currently coming live from South Africa. You guys live on TikTok, live on YouTube. Please go get somewhere so you can be notified soon as the HerbMan show comes on. We teach people how to heal themselves, and you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we teach you guys here about the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness. All right. So that's what we do. I'm your neighborhood holistic practitioner. Again, I'm your homie HerbMan. And what we do here simply, guys, is giving you guys free information. You don't have to pay for anything that you hear here today. The only thing that you got to do is pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan show is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. Trust me, I'll work for that. And then on top of that, once we get to 1,000 likes, we will get into the subject matter at hand. All right. So let me make sure I got everybody got a good view of us. You guys, okay? We're coming live on YouTube and TikTok. Please go be somewhere to be notified. We need about I think we need about 10 more people to subscribe on YouTube, and then we'll be at 2,100. All right. So if you want to get us to that 2,100 milestone, please go there and help us build that YouTube up. Okay. Now, at the end of the day, what we've been teaching you guys is how simple healing thyself is once you get up under the understanding that there must be a decision that needs to be made. Okay. And the decision that needs to be made is if you are willing to clench on to life. Is there more exuberance? Is there more energy? Is there more love for life that you would love to continue to do? Because it's with that particular energy that needs to be utilized in order to help us get you to the next level, in order to get you over the hump. A lot of us are giving up. A lot of us are just giving up in that time of need. Remember that I told you guys that when we're in these sympathetic nervous system conditions, when everything that's going on in our life just keeps us always in a chronic stress situation, that means that we are always in a fight or flight. Now, when we're in a fight or flight, when you're in a fearful state, when you're always worried, that's a fearful state. I know people think that somebody talking about scared, but scared and fear are two different things. And so when you're scared of something, and that when somebody can frighten you. But when you're fearful, this is not about it being a scared of somebody jumping out of the closet. This is a worry. And this is an underbedded worry because you don't really have control the way that you would like to over your life or the situation in your life. So there is a bit of timidness, a bit of fear of what if I can't, or what if this goes, because I ain't in control, right? And so when you get your diagnosis, it's one of those things. Now, fear breeds the flight. Okay. So when you're in a fight or flight and you get fearful, the first thing you're going to do is try to come up with an escape route. So you try to escape the sickness. You try to escape poverty. You try to escape loneliness. You try to escape the violence. You try to escape the abuse. The first thing to do for a person in fear is to flight, not to fight. And the reason why I highlight this in this conversation is because as we move forward to teach you, when you're trying to heal yourself, this is not the moment for you to flight. This is the moment for you to fight. When we're trying to heal your finances, this ain't the moment to run any longer. This is the moment to stand up to what your time management look like, what your money management skills look like. When you talking about you trying to be rich, you don't even know how to save yet. You don't even know how to do credit or debit. You don't even know how to build your finances. So what are you talking about being rich? So this is a process that we have to get you to be illuminated. So that means that you got to face the funk, which means that you got to fight the situation. Okay. When we're talking about being lonely, then we got to talk about you. We can talk about other folk, but we got to talk about you and what you be doing and why you get angry and why you over there arguing all the time, why you fussing and fighting, why you want to put your hand on somebody, why you feel like cheating all the time, why you untrustworthy, why you unloyal. We got to talk about you. Don't be trying to blame everybody else. And then when you face what you're doing to cause the problem, then you're fighting the problem. You're fighting the issue. You're no longer running. Okay, so we must understand that an overstimulated nervous system, which means that when you're in chronic sympathetic nervous system, that means that you're in chronic fight or flight, which means that you're in chronic fear in the underlying belly of living life. And that fear causes a bunch of stress. When you don't know this and don't know that, and when you're not in control of your life. If you're working a 9 to 5, you're not in control. Because if you go in there out of control, you fired. You see what I'm trying to tell you? That means that you ain't in control. See, so therefore, again, I told you guys about this. If you're waking up every day, okay, let me put this up here for you guys. All right, keep tapping, you guys. I'll keep talking. Keep tapping. I'll keep talking. If you're waking up every day, right, the main purpose is for you to love what you do. Okay, that's the main thing. If you can't do that, okay, that's fine. If you can't love McDonald's, if you can't love the Burger King, I get it. Then the only option you have is to do what you love. Okay? Those are the only two reasons that you should be getting out of the bed. And these are the only two reasons that you will want to stay here. These are the only two reasons you will want to resurrect, rejuvenate. These are the only two reasons that you want to elongate life. You see, when people are having grandchildren and they're having businesses and they're having things to cling on to life, it's because they have found something in something. I remember having a brother, he might be watching me right now, but the brother about 80-something years old. Very nice looking young man. On top of that, y'all wouldn't even recognize him. So if he got into the club, some of y'all 30 or 40-year-old will holler at him. But the brother 80 now. We got it going on. You see what I'm saying? Brother said, I've been rich before and been broke all at the same time. You feel what I'm saying? So done lived a pretty decent life, and you can tell by the way that he's continued to been able to function in the world. But he do got some issues because he ate it, right? So he got a wear and tear. Now, the biggest thing in him is, I know I look good for my age. I know I got a little wear and tear, but I still got zeal. I still got zeal, and I still got will, and I still got this hunger, and I still got the fortitude, because you know what? I still love what I do. So he still got love for the living. He ain't washed up. Oh, I'm 80. You know what I'm saying? I got high blood pressure, diabetes. He been had some of that stuff for 50 years. You feel what I'm saying? But the brother still decent, look good. But he wants to be able. But he knows that it's wear and tear. So again, but his reasoning is because he love what he do. So he feel like, brother, I can make it to 120. I told him damn sure can. Okay, so waking up every day will control, these two questions will control your emotions throughout the day. When you love what you do, you'll control your emotions. When you do what you love, that has an emotional response that comes with waking up every day looking at life this way. Okay, because when you love what you do or do what you love, the operative word here is love. Then we know that that's your oxytocin, right? Now we already know that oxytocin, you don't even got to take ashwagandha. If you're trying to look the balance goals, you balance them with oxytocin. If you're looking to regulate your hormones, you regulate it with oxytocin and serotonin. So these are medicines. These are chemicals that are being produced in your body if you act or think something negative or you think something positive. If you respond in a good way or you respond in a bad way. If you get all up in arms about something or if you get all at ease about something, you're sending chemicals through your body that is spunding the pH balance, spunding the blood fluctuation, spunding all of these ratios and concentrations and all the stuff that we've been teaching you is coming from your emotional feelings about the image or about the thought that has been produced. So thought produce feelings, feelings produce action. So before you act, there's got to be chemicals and it has to be signaling that goes through the body to tell it what to act like. And so therefore, when the feelings come, see, your thought about something is mental, but your feelings about something, it starts to get expressional. So then therefore, the thought is just in the mind. You haven't expressed nothing. But when the feeling comes, it becomes an expression. You may show some body language. You may show some facial expression. You may see a grunt come out. You may see a moan come out. You may see a complaint come out. You may see a rebuttal come out. You may see a debate come out. You may see some hate come out. You may see some violence come out. You may see some tears come out. You may see me get hard on. You may see me get lubricated. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that when feeling get attached to the thought, then expression becomes tangible for somebody else to understand. So the feelings is our ability to see it from the mind. Okay, so the thought we can't see, but when feeling get it, expression comes, and expression is action. Okay, and so therefore, when you love what you do and you're in love with life, not in love with things in life, but in love with life itself, then we're constantly producing this chemical, which is the medicine for your high blood pressure, your stress. It's the medicine for your nerve situation. It's the medicine for your chronic nervous system being all fear and fight and flight. This is the medicine. This is the medicine. We can cut the video short right up. I'll see y'all tomorrow. That's it. Okay? That's the medicine. So now, what do we got to do to heal ourselves? That's still the question, because a lot of y'all still don't get it. Okay? A lot of y'all still don't get it. So then I got to break it down to you this way. Okay? What I'm trying to do is cause an emotional storm in your life. Okay? I'm trying to cause an emotional storm that will stir up your emotions, your feelings. So therefore, what I'm trying to say is sometimes we need to cry. Okay? Crying can help us heal. Crying can help us heal. Okay? Please keep tapping, you guys. I'll keep talking. Please keep tapping. I'll keep talking. All right? Crying can help us heal. Okay? All right? So now I'm going to show you some of these things that we can do to heal. Okay, now another thing that I'm trying to attempt for you to be able to do is not necessarily just cry, but also if we can laugh. Laughing is healing. Okay, laughing is healing. So we can laugh some stuff off. We can cry some stuff off. We can laugh some stuff off. Okay, all right. And then the next thing that we're trying to do, if we can't get you to cry it out, if you don't want to laugh it out, then the next thing that we need you to do, okay, the very next thing that we need you to do is then either speak it out. Okay, speak it out, cry it out, laugh it out, or speak it out, right? Get it out of you. But we want you to engage in the situation. Now, these emotions we already talked about before, you guys. Okay, so the root chakra is representing stress and anxiety. Anxiety is another word for worrying. There's a lot of folk out here worrying they damn life away. Okay, worrying yourself to death, literally. So the root chakra is always going to be about stress and worry. The sacral chakra, which is the second chakra, okay, is always going to be about guilt and unforgiveness. All right. Now, the solar plexus, which is the third chakra, this chakra is always going to represent willpower, but we like to call it self-control. Right. This is dealing with your self-control issues. All right. Now you have the heart chakra, which is the fourth chakra. The heart chakra represents what we would like to call grief and depression issues. Okay. And these things can come in various different ways of sadness and losses that can start to wreak havoc on body parts. We'll get to that a little bit later. All right. So the next one is going to be your throat chakra. Right. This is the fifth chakra. It's the throat chakra. Now, the fifth chakra is going to represent doubt and trust issues. So these are emotional things that encapsulate us every day. All right. And then your seventh chakra, because the sixth chakra is the 4 and 6, it's the 3 and 8. So then the next one is the seventh chakra, which is the pituitary gland. And then that's going to represent your delusion and also loneliness, feeling very lonely and being very delusional about life can start to cause some things in life. All right. And then the ninth chakra, which is your crown chakra, is going to represent attachment issues. All right. So those are the emotions, but at the same time, you got to go back and visit them. And then there's going to be some things that you got to do. Some of us just need to speak out some of these things. Some of us can laugh them out. Some of us need to cry them out. Okay. Some of us need to cry them out. So the attempt is to stir up the emotions. All right. The attempt is to stir up the emotions, but that crying, we can't have it be sad and oh, I'm about to die cry. This got to be a oh my God, look at the miracle cry. See, folks can cry two different ways. Remember that your brain sees an image and flip it. So what we're doing is reflipping it. So instead of you looking at suffering as a bad thing, we want you to look at it as an opportunity for transformation. So when you're crying, we want to see cry tears of joy, right? So the crying is tears of joy, right? And that joy is going to start to produce in you healing things like serotonin, like oxytocin that can heal your body itself. And then also melatonin, and then also dopamine. These things are very healing to your body, okay? Very healing to the nervous system and to the endocrine system and to the hormonal system, right? So those tears, those cries is not sad cry. I cannot get you to, we're not trying to get you crying over cancer. We're trying to get you to cry over the miracle, okay? So we're not doing that crying over there, right? So that laughter is what? A true happiness, right? That's coming from a place of true happiness, right? Even in your despair, you can laugh because you truly realize that you're abundant, even in desolation, even in situation where you ain't got nothing. This is the flip. We got to flip it, okay? All right? And then last but not least is the speak, right? So you're going to be speaking of love. Speaking of love. So now we get you to be able to start speaking over yourself, thinking over these situations and traumatic events that are happening to your life, all while at the same time you're getting good herbs in your body, good foods in your body, and then you're getting good vibes in your body from doing these things, because this stuff is holding up room. When you're in there crying over this stuff and you're suffering and being all mad and all this, that, and the third, you're only holding on to the disease. We're trying to teach you guys how to let it go. Okay, remember that nothing got you. You got something. Okay, remember that. Ain't nothing got you. You got something. You know, when you go to the doctor, they say you got cancer. It's because you got it. Do y'all feel that? Did you feel that? Did you feel that one? They don't tell you that high blood pressure got you. They say you got high blood pressure. That's damn sure right. You got it. We got to let you to let it go. Listen to the words, baby. Because again, you're flipping it. You're flipping it. You're flipping it. You're flipping it. You're flipping your disease. You're flipping what they're telling you into being a negative when it should be a positive for your life. All right. So again, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You got diabetes. They ain't say diabetes got you. That means you holding on to diabetes. You got to let it go. They say you got autoimmune disease. You got Crohn's disease. You got ulcerative colitis. You got multiple sclerosis. They ain't say that multiple sclerosis got you. They didn't say that Parkinson's got you. They said that you got dementia. That means that you got to let it go. You got to hold on it. You got to let it go. And we got to teach you guys about understanding what's going on in you to where you're realizing that I am holding on to this and I do have to let it go. It is you. You got it. And like I told you, self-healing is simple, but you must grab hold on to the process that you got to take yourself through if you want to get off modern medical facility, if you want to get out of modern medical care. I told you guys the number one killer in the medical facility is wrong diagnosis. They're diagnosing you guys just because y'all blood pressure is over 120 and you getting on high blood pressure medication. You should be ashamed of yourself. You can't go down there and do that like that, man. Y'all are being diagnosed for diabetes just because your blood sugar is 200. Man, come on, that thing gonna come down. Pimp, it ain't nothing but a little stuff that you got to do to come down. But they finna put you on metformin for life, because you're out of their ranges, not looking at who you are as a person and looking at what makes you specific. And so that's why the owner's manual is so very important and imperative that you guys understand what you're getting in this owner's manual. You're getting what nature says about you versus what people have said about you. And then once you get that, nature also gives you its remedies for your conditions if you run into these tendencies that nature says that you already may have within you. And then once you start looking at, damn, how the hell did nature know this about me, if you want to call it nature, by just giving me a birthday? I don't need a blood type, blood sample, hair sample, stool sample, urine sample. I don't need to pick you, prick you, pod you, poke you. It's non-invasive, non-intrusive. All we need is a birthday. We don't need the birth time, location. We don't need none of that. Just the birthday. Because it holds the longest information, and it also is attaching you to the cosmos. So with that information, we're able to understand exactly who you are, your characteristics, what you're going to be prone to, and then you can move on with your life after that. You don't have to worry about nobody. You can go to your local herbalist because you got the herbs list. You can go to your grocery store, farmer's market, or your backyard because you got the herbs list. You can go to your doctor because you got the physical tendencies list. You can go to your therapist because you got the spiritual tendencies list. And you can go to your pastor because you got all that you need for them too. So everything gonna be in your hands, just like your birth certificate and all your other important records. The owner's manual can be that for you. If you are interested in the owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get you the information that you need. But that's what it's all about, is getting you to understand the emotions. The emotions is the gateway into living into this particular I'm going to heal myself. If you look at most people who have healed themselves, truly healed themselves, they came into the paradigm interpreting the suffering situation in a whole different way. Their interpretation of that diagnosis was, I don't believe it, I ain't got it, I don't want it, I ain't gonna get it, and I'm finna go home and still do whatever I need to do to make sure I get rid of it. You see what I'm saying? That whole time the doctor said it, said, I ain't got it, I don't want it, ain't gonna get it, don't know nothing about it, don't know who it is, and then went home and did everything they need to do to get rid of it. So they ain't gonna receive it from the doctor's voice, but then they also know that they need to change their life and get their body healed. And then what's they do? They went home and still went through a regimen as if they had it, even though they never accepted it. And next thing you know, they don't got it no more. Better ask them, okay? That's what's going on. Why? Is because of the chemicals that are being produced by the emotions, okay? By the emotions, right? The chemicals that are being produced by the emotions, all right? The chemicals that are being produced by the emotions, okay? So the reason why the woman is the most sought after creature on the planet, even in your biblical text, the woman is the most sought after creature, not because she can bear the male child, because that still seems very masculine centric, right? It's still all about the son, right? All about the boy. But now that ain't really it. The reason why the woman is the centerpiece and the focal point of this particular thing is because she is representing not just the species, but an energy. Okay, y'all keep looking at this as species. I'm trying to get you to look at things in an energy. Okay, a frequency. Stop looking at it as woman and man. The women and the people in the Bible represented energies. Peter it wasn't no such thing as Peter, but Peter represented a solid foundation, a solid thought process. That, you know, like it said, on this solid rock I stand, right? That means that your mind was sold on Jesus. That means that you were solid as a rock on faith and belief. And that means that you were going to be in a sound doctrine. Right? Solid. One no Peter. Okay. So now you understand that the woman represents the energy, right? That's needed over in here. Remember this now. Remember I told you guys, this is what we actually need to be trying to do. When image comes into the eye, it immediately goes over here to thinking. Okay. Now, in order for you to body preserve, in order for you to make it to 120 years old, which is what the Bible has promised us, right? Which is what the Bible has promised us, right? You got to know that you got to share this paradigm between intellect and intuition, between your thought life and your feelings. So what we're trying to do is sometimes the thought don't do it, but it's the expression that's creating the chemical storm. Okay, it's the expression, the feelings that is the chemical storm. The feelings is the chemical storm. Let me correct that. The feelings is the chemical storm. The thought creates the chemical storm, but the feelings is this chemical storm, is this chemical flush of whatever expression that you want to make from the interpretation, right? So the thought creates the storm, but the feelings is the storm of emotions, okay? Feelings is the storm of emotions. So therefore, you can't think yourself to this healing yourself. Thank you guys. Please keep tapping. I'll keep talking to you guys. This is live on TikTok and live on YouTube. As soon as I get finished, hopefully if they don't mess with the video, this will be uploaded to YouTube, okay? You can't think this healing. You got to feel it. You can't think your way through the entire 120-year full cycle span. There's certain things in life that you got to feel your way through. Basic instinct. Intuition is basic instinct. There are certain things that you can't learn from yesterday that's going to be appropriate for tomorrow. That tomorrow will have a bevy of particular issues and circumstances that yesterday you can't do nothing with. Because tomorrow is a bunch of its own expectations and experiences that yesterday can't fulfill. Now, yeah, you could do a little bit of the same stuff, but the whole purpose is to not get into roboticism or routine and keep going into your tomorrow like yesterday. You don't want to keep doing that, right? Because then that's when you start to get into this thing where you're not in the present moment. You're not flowing with nature. You're doing your thing because you think you know what to do. But today is supposed to tell you what to do. I tell y'all all the time, the weather is supposed to tell you when to eat. The weather is supposed to tell you what to eat. The weather is supposed to dictate your day. The weather, it do it for everybody else. The climate dictates everything for everybody else. It dictates everything for the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom. Only the humans are going and defying what the climate or the weather or the season may say. Only the human being. But if you get it and understand the weather, just the sheer weather will dictate what clothes you wear, where you need to go, when you need to get back. It'll all be there. You just got to fall into it. But what's happening is you think you know better and what to do about your tomorrow. And you don't never let tomorrow just tell you what to do. Don't think about what to wear. Just wake up, feel the weather, change. And when you start being able to change with when nature tell you to, then now you're starting to get into being sensitive to the Spirit of God. Now you start getting into true intuitiveness. Now you start getting into true discernment. Can you feel again? Can he feel again? Without music, can you feel again? Without TV, can you feel again? Without sports, can you feel again? Without alcohol, can you feel again? Without drugs, can you feel again? Can you naturally feel again without any enhancements? The emotions. So the woman is important because she represents this side of your membrane and this side of your brain that you must understand that is very relevant to your existence here. Just because the image is going straight over to the masculine means that once we know thyself and know that about ourselves, then there must be a management. Okay, when you tell me that my image is automatically being flipped and then automatically going to the logical side of me, then I must pay attention always to managing the input coming in a way that where I'm not always allowing the category to go straight into the masculine, but allowing some of the imagery to be felt. So when the image comes into the eye, it goes into the left side of the brain and directly connects with linguistics or language, which is in your left brain, the masculine side of the brain. So therefore, language has to be there to interpret the image. And then after the interpretation, it dictates your interaction, your expression with the situation. Right? So if you have the wrong idea about a lion, then when you see a lion, you will get fearful. Now, this lion is not just in the jungle of real life, but there are also some symbologies of lions in our human lives, like situations and things that happen in our life, from youth all the way to elderly, that we can call major life-changing things that will lion in our life, and they can cause the same fearful reaction, or bears or tigers can cause the same fearful reaction in our lives that's creating the chronic stress. So finances and capitalism is going to be a bear, tiger, or lion to us. Capitalism is the system, then money is going to be the bear, the lion, and the tiger to us. We must understand how to be able to feel our way through this if we can't get it through the thought life. So that means that if you get diagnosed with something and the doctors can't figure out how to heal you, then that means that they've reached the upper echelon of the thought life. The only answer you're going to be able to get then is somebody who can transition into this particular realm, emotional energy, to create the medicine within. If their medicine don't work, that means that you can't get outside medicine. Okay? If their medicine don't work, that means that your body is regurgitating, and it said that any outside thing is not going to work. Anything unlike God is not going to work. Anything that's unalkaline, unnatural, unindigenous to this particular growth medium that we call Earth is not going to be able to help you. So then what you going to do? Barbecue and mildew. When your body done had enough of the machine, you must go back to Mama Nature. When your body done had enough of intellect and logic and you can't go no further, you must be able to enter over into this. And we do this with your emotions. So if I can get you to cry, if I can get you to laugh, and if I can get you to speak in joy about life and about the situation, we can change it. Simple as that. And that's the little part about what we do that's different from the medical. They don't give a damn about your emotions, even though they know that this is a factor to healing you. The people who are positive coming into the medical facility don't never come back. The people who are negative coming to that motherfucker come back all the time. The doctors know that, but they ain't in that field to tell you. They're not dietitians to tell you what to eat. They're not nutritionists to tell you what to do. They're not nothing but selling herbs, huh? Nothing but selling drugs. That's it. Prescriptions. So that's what we do, right? And so you must understand that when you're really trying to go in somewhere and be healed, that you're going to the wrong place if you're going to the medical facility. It's within you. All right. Any questions thus far? Guys, keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Any questions thus far? So these emotions, this feeling is going to give me an energy. This energy is a lot like the dolphin. They got that aquaphonic. I don't know what they call that aquaphonic kind of ray, right? It's a lot like that, right? It's a lot like the eye, or it's a lot like the bat. They can't see, but they can feel and they can hear. And so these senses get heightened to where they start producing these chemicals. So now instead of you crying out of sadness producing a chemical, now you're crying out of joy producing a different chemical. Now instead of you sitting over here mean mugging and looking all depressed over here, we got you laughing like you don't even know you got the issue no more. And see, the thing about it is producing the help. Is producing the help. And then all we're trying to do is, once I get you to get over into this feelings, you're going to bring back something from it. You're going to bring back, either you're going to bring it back from a dream, you'll bring it back from a daydream, you'll bring it back from just an unction, you'll bring it back from a gut feeling. There'll be some intuitive type of thing that'll happen to you when you start feeling good again, and right. And so it ain't about feeling good, but it's about how good it feels. And so when we start to get you to understand how good it feels, and then start to realize how good it feels, and then you'll start to prioritize how good it feels from here on out, and then you won't start to be all in this world prioritizing how bad it feels. And so at the end of the day, when we start to get you to get over here, you will bring back something from this consciousness back into the reality that's going to help us. You'll know what to do to heal yourself. You'll know what to do to heal your finances. You'll know what to do to heal your relationships. You'll know what to do to heal yourself. If I can get you to do this, you will peek over into this and bring back your answers. Y'all get it? If I can get you to do this, you're going to peek over into this and get a revelation and bring back the answers. Okay? How do we get there? Through your owner's manual. Okay? Get your owner's manual, and then it's gonna walk you through everything that you need to be doing, and then you get in contact with me, and then we start the process. Okay? I felt that. Let's get it. Believe what you can see. Good morning, boss man. What's going on, Adrian? Your husband is your maker. The Lord of hosts is his name. I don't know what you're talking about, Blake Sexton, but okay. How do we get there? Yeah, so get your owner's manual. That's the best way to get there. Okay? The owner's manual is the best way to get that, Trinity. That way we don't do no guessworking, okay? I don't want to guess on now one of y'all. We want to make sure that we got Mama's Nature's recommendations, okay? Even if I got my own recommendations, I would still want to align them up with Mother's Nature's recommendations, okay? We got to be able to do that, all right? Any other questions thus far? Buying my owner's manual was the best $50 spent. Thank you, CW. All right, so now you understand, you guys, that this is this energy that we're putting into motion. There's a lot of people that's gotten their owner's manual. There's a lot of people, look, I mean, I'm sending these things out to Jamaica. We're sending them to the UK. We're sending them to South Africa. We got people over in America that we still facilitating. I mean, we're sending these things out as fast as we can. Now, some of y'all, we can't get the herbs to you, but we know the herbs in your particular area, and then we can just do it for you for your area. But at the end of the day, we got these herbs going out, we got these owners manual going out, and look, these people are taking their health into their own hands, and they're getting their own reciprocity. And guess what? We're not chasing diseases. All we're doing is giving you what the mama say that you was missing anyway from birth, that you need to make you whole, to make you balanced. And then all we're doing is creating the balance. The body do the shit itself. If you ever not understood, a holistic healer comes in and says what? All we do is provide the situation, right? We just provide the environment for the healing to happen. But you got to know what is needed in that environment. And we've taught you guys this over and over and over. All these things are attached to your emotions. So if I'm feeling stressed and anxiety, look, I could be looking at sodium and magnesium levels I need to be watching when I go get my blood test. If you guys got a blood test and you want to come up, put me in the chat, and then the moderator will bring you up. If you guys got your blood test and you see some discrepancies up there, come on up, put me in the chat, and we'll go over, okay? All right? And so again, so then what's that next one that we got? Guilt and forgiveness. Okay, you don't know, but guilt and forgiveness got a linkage to zinc and copper. Okay, which can then start to deal with what? The reproductive system, right? Okay, and then you got third, you got the self-control issues that's representing what? Calcium and magnesium. Well, that's going to be about your blood sugar. So when you go in there talking about blood sugar, that's calcium and magnesium, right? If you got fluctuation calcium and magnesium issues, then you can have blood sugar problems. All right. Then okay. Then the next one, the grief and depression. That's iron and copper. That's your infections. That's your immune system. Iron and copper. All right. So these things are attached to these things. Y'all don't know that this is shit for real. It real. And so we don't have to do no blood test. Ain't no ancient people took nobody blood under no microscope. Now I understand you saying where it's modern now, that makes it faster, make it quicker, but it also makes it more valuable for mistakes. It makes it more human-centric and not nature-centric. Yeah, it makes it faster. Yeah, it makes it more in-depth. Yeah, it got all the convenience to it that you want to do, but it also got a human factor to it that I can't trust. But if I can do that same effectiveness without the human factor, I'd rather do that. And that's with your birthday. That's with the owner's manual. So now we know what's in and out of the cell. We know what's intracellular ingredients. We know intracellular ingredients. And we provide you the herbs in your owner's manual that's going to give you that whole protection, okay? Going to give you that whole protection. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, here's what it is. Keep tapping, you guys. Keep talking. I'll show you the list real quick. Keep tapping and I'll keep talking. I'll show you the list really quick here of what we provide. All right, show you guys the list of what we provide really quick here. All right, boom. So those are the 13 herbs that we provide you guys. Those are the intracellular and extracellular stuff, right? So again, you see us looking at sodium, okay? You see sodium at the top up there. Let me see if I can blow this up for y'all a little bit. So you got sodium, calcium, chloride. You got your bicarbonates, okay? The potassium, magnesium, phosphorus, iron, silica, zinc, copper, selenium, and manganese, right? So selenium, manganese, these are your trace minerals. You find a lot of that in Irish moss. But look at the 13 herbs that we're dealing with. So you got the panacea blend herb versus intracellular and extracellular. So sodium, calcium, chloride, and bicarbonate are taken up by Irish moss and bladderwrack for the most part, right? So that's your, if you know anything about that, that's your extracellular stuff, right? Along with the phosphates, right? But then look over here, the other herbs that take care of the other part. So when you're getting your herbal blend with your owner's manual, we know that it's taking care of the full spectrum of what the cell needs. All right. That's all I wanted to show y'all really quick. We know that, right? So now that we know that, we ain't worried about nothing else. We got the 411. Now all we need to understand is this side of things. So when it comes to the herbs and the foods, that's stuff that you ain't got to worry about because that's God's doing. The problem that we have with you guys is the stuff that you got to do. Ain't no problem with God's herbs and God's foods. The problem is with you. So when you're trying to come over here and say, okay, well, I want to come to traditional holistic and I want to be able to heal myself and I don't want to go through all these treatments and all this medication, then that's good, that's fine. But the thing about it is, it ain't gonna be no problem with it. This not modern medicine. This not like the prescription drugs. So with prescription drugs, that's man-made, and then you got problems that you got the man-made too, that are man-made that you got to be able to solve as well. So you got man trying to solve you on the physical, and then a man trying to solve it on the spiritual. Then it ain't gonna work, right? But if I can get you to, I'm gonna help you out. Nature is gonna solve part of it, right? But then the other part you got to do to solve things within yourself. And we're going to show you how to flip these sufferings, these traumas, into some of the best energies that you need to propel you to the greatness that you're seeking. We're going to show you guys how to transform these traumas, okay, into the energy that's needed to propel you to the place that you're seeking. Okay, And that's truly what the owner's manual was about. And it serves as a guide to get us to that place. The owner's manual serves as a guide to get you to that place. If you guys got your blood test, I know it's early in the morning, but if you guys got your blood test and you want to come up here and talk about some of these minerals, then you can come on up, put me in the chat, and we'll be glad to welcome you to come on over and do this. Blessings, family. So does the owner's manual come with the herb profile, or you buy them separate? Yes, it comes with the whole herb list that's pertaining to you. Okay. Trinity 777 moderator, could y'all bring that up, please, for me? Don't look like I can bring you up, Trinity. Your thing doesn't show that you can come up on live yet. Okay. But if you guys are looking at I forgot where I was at right then. Yeah, so it does come with its own herb profile for you. So it changes with each person, but for you, you're gonna get your herb profile. We recommend that you blend all of those herbs up and follow the directions that you get with your owner's manual. All right. How do I purchase the owner's manual today? All you got to do is just DM us Earthly Color Brown. You DM me and we'll get you the information that you need. Image cards. You DM me and we'll get you the information that you need. It's cutting edge stuff, you guys, but it's really nothing new. If you're into astrology, and if you're into cosmology, and if you're into theology, and if you're into biology, and if you add those up, that's everything that you're looking for, right? If you're into physics, okay, if you're into physics, biology, if you're into theology, what else we got? Physics, biology, theology, herbology, and all of the other ologies, then this is what you want. This is what you're looking for. If you're in the cosmology, okay, all of the ologies, okay? If you're into this type of stuff to answer solutions, to get questions and solutions, then that's what we're doing. Look, herb people before me, they've been new this, right? They've been new this, right? So what we call it is healing through science and spirit. Healing through spirit and science, right? So everything is going to be about the experience, right? Okay. If you guys want me to come and speak to anybody that you want me to come speak to, please DM us and book us and DM us, and we'll be where we need to be for you. Okay. The experience. The experience is healing through science and spirit. Okay. So this is a particular point to where we can start to allow science to help us away, but then allow spirit to help us in the other areas that are unknown. And you allow them to work together to create the whole way forward. Not one person over the other, but you allow both of them to chart our way forward. And that's what we're showing you guys here today. Okay, that's what we've been showing you guys for the over the years, and we're gonna keep on busting you guys upside the head with this hot banger boogie, and it don't matter what you say and who you say it about. So you guys, if you're interested in the owner's manual, then keep it coming. All right. Any questions thus far? So these emotions, now we understand, are creating medicines. These emotions also can turn these medicines into poisons. Okay. So now you have this thin line between when it's medicine and then when it becomes toxic. Okay. You have this thin line between when it's medicine and when it's become toxic. Now, the thing about it is that as long as you are in peace, okay, as long as you're in peace, it's medicine. As long as you're in peace, it's medicine. Okay. But when you're in chronic stress, it can become toxic. So your emotions is the problem and the solution. I keep trying to tell y'all, if you're dealing with any kind of cancers, it's primarily going to be the endocrine system. Okay. If you're dealing with hormonal issues, that's the endocrine system. Okay. If you're dealing with thyroid issues, that's the endocrine system. Okay. If you're dealing with kidneys and adrenal issues, that's the endocrine system. Okay. If you're dealing with high blood sugar, the pancreas belongs also to the endocrine system. Okay. There's a lot of stuff. If you got immune system issues, that's your T cells. The thymus gland belongs to the endocrine system. Okay. So there is growth and development issues. You too little, too big. You got you too short, too tall, big feet, little feet. You got one arm, no arm. You grew and developed like that. Believe it or not, that's the endocrine system, pituitary gland. Okay, if you can't sleep and you're doing all this old craziness in at night and this, that, and the third, and that's the pineal, that's the endocrine system. Oh, okay. So you want to talk about reproductive, and I want to have babies, and this, that, and the third. Well, your ovaries and your gonads belong to your endocrine system. So the endocrine system, emotional things, is the key to the medicine or the toxicity to healing you or you dying. This is where we get it produced. So that's why your feelings, nothing more than feelings, is so important when we're talking about healing thyself. All right? Got home which needs several repairs, society stress, homeostasis, yes, right? So it is in this particular thing is where this come from. So what we're trying to do is take the stress off of you from the diagnosis, the stress off of you from the loneliness, the stress off of you from the financial situation, and we're trying to get you some peace that will replace it. So this is the pacifier, but when you take the pacifier out of folks' mouth, you got to replace it with something else. So what we're trying to do is say, okay, when you go to the doctor, they don't never do nothing about this, but they add on to it. So they add on to the fear factor that makes you go get chemotherapy, that makes you get the immunotherapy, that makes you get radiation, that makes you cut off organs, that makes you do these surgeries, because they know how to stress you out with the fear factor. The fear factor is a motherfucker, and it has a basis and a fundamental basis about why diagnosis is incorrect. Sometimes the incorrect diagnosis is just giving you a diagnosis at all. And the health industry and the modern medical facility is wrong in diagnosis, not just by actually telling you some shit that ain't is, but also telling you some shit that you ain't really got. So a lot of your diagnosis, you shouldn't been diagnosed anyway. And that's a wrong diagnosis to give a person a diagnosis when they ain't really got no problem. Because you're creating the fear factor, which create these emotions that keep you body toxic. Okay? And so you got a lot of stuff that do this. Okay? You got a lot of stuff that do this. Your wants, your needs, and your desires keep this up. So you're up under this capitalistic system, whether you're in China, whether you're in Russia, whether you're in South Africa, whether you're in South America, whether you're in Australia, whether you're in Europe, or whether you're in Americas. If you got capitalism over you, even communism is capitalism, even whatever isms is capitalism. So everybody got to make some funky money to eat. So at the end of the day, you got to build a life under this world, up under this money world. Up under this money world, you got wants, needs, and desires. You want to go to college. You want to get a car. You want to get a home. You want family and some kids. And so all of that got to be quantified and measured under capitalism. And that means that you created your wants under capitalism, your needs under capitalism, your desires under capitalism. Your whole programming of your life is created under capitalism, which means that it's created under stress. Now, how do we give you peace to your wants? How do we exchange your stress in your wants to peace in your wants? How do we replace the stress in your needs to peace in your needs? How do we replace the stress in your desires to peace in your desires? How do we give you this particular type of peace and assurance? Okay, that means that we have to change your emotional interpretation, your emotional interaction with the environmental stimuli. And we can do that by showing you what you have a tendency of doing in the first place. We can show you that we can help you with that by showing you how you have a tendency to already view things. Once you see that you got the tendency to turn it on sports every day, you got a tendency to come in here and watch Fred Sanford every day itself. You got a tendency to cook spaghetti every Wednesday. You got a tendency to go shopping every third Sunday. You got a tendency. So once we start mapping tendencies, then now you'll start to be able to watch yourself, know thyself, and then be able to react or respond to the environmental stimuli in a different energy, creating the change. Okay, creating the change. Let's change it. Blessings to your queen. Yes, yes, yes. Thanks, thanks, thanks. Yeah. So that's what we got to understand, you guys. All right. So this medicine comes in this peace mindset. We give you that, and we help you. Now I ain't gonna say we give it to you, but we help you get it within yourself with your owner's manual. Okay. All right. So now that's what you got to understand right there. Your emotional endocrine system. So now what this does is, because it produces a lot of growth factor, right? Your endocrine system, these glands produce a lot of growth factors, right? Estrogen, insulin, then you got pituitary growth hormone factors in your pituitary gland, right? And so now this growth factor, because you're trying to grow, right? You're trying to grow your life. You're trying to grow in your wants. You're growing in your needs and your desires. You're trying to grow. So you're sending emotional signals of growth. And then now you're mad because you got a tumor in your prostate gland. You got a tumor in your breast. You got a tumor in your thyroid. You got a lot of people are getting thyroid tumors, right? Because now these things have been attached to the actual glands themselves. A lot of people are getting pituitary gland tumors, right? Pineal gland tumors. Adrenal cysts on the adrenal glands, right? Because it is attacking the very areas, and you'll know what information you're getting, and we'll know. If you over here all the time, then this sympathetic. All right, this is the sympathetic side. So if you over here all the time, I know that you ain't got no chill, and we know you running. Remember that this is the fear, the factor. So this is the flight. When you fear, you flight. You ain't finna fight nobody scared. When you fear, you fight. You flight. So now if you're over here dealing with all your issues, cancer diagnosis, divorce issues, relationship woes, educational woes, children, parenting woes, family matters, business affairs, a co-worker and career shit going on and all. You got all this stuff going on up under this capitalism system that you under, that's creating all of this stuff right here that's keeping you breaking yourself down. And that's why the human is very seldom to make it to what God has already gave you, which is 120 years. You can't make it there under this paradigm. So that's why you must start to feel your way through this. Discernment and intuition will start to subside a lot of this stress, because now you're starting to go in things with more of a peace and an assurance. Capitalism is not the system when you already got an abundance of things in nature. Nature gave you an abundance. So you don't need a capitalism. Nature gave you itself. So you don't need religious institutions, because you're going to get your spiritual connection through nature. You're going to get everything that you're going inside of a building for if you go just outside. Everything that you're going indoors to do, all you got to do is just go outdoors to get it. Does the owner manual come in large print? Yeah, you're going to get yours. It's going to come in your email. It's not a book. It's the book on you. It's your own personal book. Okay? It's not a book that I've written for everybody. It's your personal book written for you. You can't use your owner's manual on your children. It won't help you with nobody else, but it'll help you with you. It's your owner's manual. All right? So that's what everybody needs. I think that we be trying to find books and try to find information so we can help so many other. Now help yourself. And when you help yourself, that's when you start to help other people. Put your mask on first so everybody else can breathe. All right? Yes. So that's what we're doing. And we can get you to produce this, man, along with those herbs helping out. That ashwagandha helping out with the oxytocin, and herbs like Irish moss and all this stuff helping out with a lot of this stuff, man. You are well on your way, all right, to happiness, wholeness, and wellness, all right? Once we get to 100,000 likes, you guys, I will take a birthday today. I haven't done one in a while, so we'll do that. Once we get to 100K, We'll do one birthday to show you guys how this thing go and what you need to be looking forward to. All right. Genesis 6 and 3. That's your 120 years. How do I get a manual? DM me. DM me. Okay. Once we get to 100K, you guys will start taking birthdays. All right. I'll show y'all how this thing go. All right. I'll show you how it go. It comes with a chart, so you get to circle a chart as well, so you can track yourself around the life cycle, around the life circle, right? Around the life path. This ain't nothing but the life path, right? All you guys need to understand that this is the yellow brick road. These are 12 life lessons that last 10 years, okay? 12 life lessons that last 10 years. It's all about how right or wrong you get these lessons in order to pass this test. Now, you'll see that if you don't know that this is a lesson, let's say Aries, okay? Aries is talking about chaos, right? Moments in life that can be chaotic and our ability to be able to handle chaos, right? You got to be a little chaotic yourself at times, all right? You got to be able to be a little chaotic at yourself sometimes. Remember that this is environmental stimuli. Now, let's say you don't know is chaos is the lesson, and you out of the 10 years, you get it right 4 out of 6 times, right? And then you got Taurus here that you lived through, all right? And Taurus was all about seeing the beauty, right? Seeing the beauty in things. But you don't know this lesson, but you stumbled upon it. And maybe 5 out of 5 of those years, you got it right. And then you'll start accumulating these percentages. And then you'll start to see if this person is being enlightened or not, or either worthy to even extend life. A lot of the times you don't understand what's actually going on. Okay, what's going on, kinfolk? A lot of y'all don't actually know what's going on. And so when we fail, remember death is failing the test. Okay, remember that death is failing the test, in my opinion. We don't chase disease, we're chasing death, right? So now, if that's the case, then why do we die? Well, the thing about it is because we're failing at certain lessons that are teaching us transformation. That are teaching us how to transition, transfigure into the next particular echelon or realm that we need to be in. When you don't understand this particular mechanism quite well enough, you guys, then unfortunately, there's going to be some issues, okay, like death, right? So now you keep compiling up these failures or these 50% or these failures or these 50%, because if we don't really know, it is highly unlikely that we're going to pass every one of them. So you keep going and you failing these tests. Well, as you are making these mistakes in these life lessons, you're going through shit. As you are, didn't nobody tell you that this was the life, but at the end of the day, as you're going through this, you're going through stuff. I mean, we're going through life. It's life that we're living through these ups and downs and these failures. So ain't no telling what done happen to you to get 50% or to get 40% or to get 100. Ain't no telling what done happen in them 10 years of your life for you to pass or fail these tests. But what's happening is it's starting to expose if you have what it takes to reach the end of the cycle. And a lot of times when you don't have what it takes to reach the cycle, that's just like any other animal that's born into the natural element. If the baby ain't fast enough, strong enough, and it's the weakest link, it might be more prone to being a prey from a predator. Okay? Because you can't have everybody in the family go down for this one weakling little cub or this one weakling little thing right here, right? So I'm gonna try to teach him, but if he get caught up, he get caught up. So the thing is, we're coming in weak, and we have to get strong. And so the owner's manual is going to illuminate to you guys these life lessons that you're in and what you need to do to pass that test. And once you start aligning yourself up with your life lesson, which you'll see here because we're almost at 100K. So once these people start coming in, I'm going to show them these life lessons. So we line them up. So if you're looking for a husband and you ain't in Libra, that might not necessarily be what you should be looking for. That don't mean that men ain't around you because you ain't in Libra. Hell, you around folks, but you might not necessarily be ready yet until you get to a certain age and stage in your life for that. And so you could be out of season looking for your man, out of season looking for your job, out of season looking for your healing. And that's all it is. And then once we start to align you back up to what's real, and you stop flipping the image in your mind, and we can get you to the reality of what's going on, then we can start to muster up the answers to pass your test of life. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else? You guys keep tapping. We almost at the 100K. We almost at the 100K. You guys keep tapping, and we'll get your birthday on up here. Okay. We'll get your birthday on up here. If you guys are interested in the owner's manual, please DM us, and we'll get you that information. On top of that, we've also come up with the own numbering system as well, so that we can start to pinpoint you and GPS you on this map. So we'll give you your current location and your destination. Now your starting point is your destination. So whatever your birth time is, that's what you got to get back to, right? So we show you how far away from the home that you done got on the journey of life. You see this infinity sign right here? We're supposed to live infinite, y'all. Infinite. They don't want me to tell y'all that. This is what they really don't want me. This is the most unpopular subject of to people, is because they like, oh man, you trying to tell folks they ain't supposed to die, man, and that's bullshit right there. Nah, bro, it's all about where your consciousness is at. Death is a consciousness, okay? Just like heaven is a consciousness. These ain't real things, but you can make them real. So you see how many motherfuckers think it's a real heaven? Because we can make it real. So it's just like you can make death real if I put it into your programming. You can make anything real if it's put into your programming. You see the world and what we did with the skyscrapers, and where you got folks that can fit their body into a suitcase and they'll be on America's Got Talent. You got all kind of folk that can do all kind of things, because you can now start to see that if you put your mind to it, you can make something a reality, and you can start coming in and start seeing things you never done before, because people are making things reality that they've never been real before, because they put it into their consciousness. Okay? Put it into their consciousness. All right, you guys, so this is how we're going to do it. Okay, this is how we're going to do it. The only way you're going to be able to do a birthday is you got to come up on the chat. Okay, so you got to put me in the chat. Put me in the chat, come up online, and let's show these people what the owner's manual would do. Come up on the chat, put me in the chat, and have your birthday ready to go. So that's how we weed out everybody, because, you know, it'll be a million people coming up here. So we got to weed you out. All right, Earthly Color Brown, come on up, and let's get you started on the Life is Right. All right, welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help you?
Hi, blessings. I would like to go ahead and get my reading. Blessings to you and your queen.
Yeah, appreciate you very much. Now, are you dealing with any kind of health concerns, Earthly Color Brown?
I started taking hormone replacement therapy, estrogen, estradiol, testosterone cream that I rub on my upper arm, and progesterone. I stopped the progesterone because it makes me sleep like immediately and for hours.
Okay, and so basically you're dealing with some menopausal issues, it sounds like?
Yes.
You see how good I am now. Give me your birthday.
November 15th, 1970.
I probably shouldn't have said me to get on this thing, because I ain't got no type of health issues.
Okay. Well, yeah, if you don't got health issues right now, doctors, then just come on back. Then, you know, we'll deal with some
Yes, I'll come back.
Okay. All right, peace.
Peace.
All right, so Earthly, so we got 11/15/1970, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so theoretically, 10/21 to 11/21, theoretically, that's gonna be Scorpio. Okay, so Scorpio.
I am 100% a Scorpio.
All right, so Scorpio is gonna be right here, right? So Scorpio is all about is all about seeing the ugliness in things. Okay. Now it don't mean that that's all you do, because you have a side of you that always see the beauty. Because the opposite of a Scorpio is the Taurus. Okay, and that's seeing the beauty. So you have this ability to see the good and the bad and stuff all the time. Now, this is the life lesson of Scorpio, but you already beyond that, okay? So now, if it's 1021 to 1121, let's say you stayed there. So that means you only did 6 days of that sign. So that means that 6 days later, it had changed to another sign. So 6 days will give you 2 years of Scorpio, right? So if you were born in 1970, right? If you're born in 1970, that means that you would be 9 years older than me this year, which would make you 55 this year, right?
Yes.
Right. So that means currently you are 54 years old. Okay. Now, when we do the model number, all right, your model number is just breaking down this number. So 11 plus 15 is 26. 2 plus 6 is 8. So between the month and the date, we got the number 8. Let's remember that. 1970 eventually going to end up being 17. 1 and 7 equals 8. So 8 and 8 is 16. 1 plus 6 equals 7, right? So that 7 right there is also telling me a lot about your element, okay? Now your sun sign, we already know, is the Scorpio, so that's a water sign. The opposite of the Scorpio is a Taurus, so that's the earth. And then the 7 here, the 7th chakra, is going to represent the water element. Okay? So you are a water, earth. Very emotional woman. Okay? Very emotional woman. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something, though. I like water people because this is a very sweet spot for me when water people come up. Because what you have, we need. Your ability to be empathetic and sympathetic and put yourself in people's shoes is exceptional. We need more of that. But when you offer yourself up, what's happening is you're being so much of a confidant. People are calling you left and right, telling you their business, but you don't have nobody to do that for. So
that part.
So therefore,
that part, and I discovered that 2 weeks ago. I'm everything financially, mentally, spiritually, sexually to everybody.
Yeah, that's it.
But I just realized a week ago
you don't have
I'm
that for
not
yourself.
me in any of them, and it hurt my heart.
But here's the thing, though. This is why we do the owner's manual. So that's why we call this nature-based interventions. So instead of looking for human intervention, we got to look for nature-based intervention, God intervention, right? So now you can't get it from people, and you can't go leave nobody. You can't just go get just walk away from everybody. So therefore, you go to nature. So you need to go to the waters of nature. What you can't get in human, you got to get in nature, in God. So God said, look, I know you ain't got nobody to do what you're doing because you exemplify water. So you are the connector, you are the networker, you are the absorber of those people's problems. Ain't nobody gonna do what you do. So therefore, I got nature that'll let you empty your cup over into the big water. See, they empty their cup over into you, but you got to empty your cup over into the big water. So going by the rivers, the lakes, going to the beach, going to these things are going to be very beneficial and very therapeutic for you. Okay? You get that?
Yes.
All right. Now that we got your starting point is your destination. So you got to end up coming back here to Scorpio to get to 120 years. But what you at right now is you did 2 years of Scorpio, 12 minutes. Each life lesson extends 10 years. So 2 years of Scorpio, 12 years by the time you got rid of Sagittarius, 22 from Capricorn, 32 from Aquarius, 42 when you finish Pisces, 52 when you finish Aries, right? And then you're how old? 54, right? So you're currently 2 years in your Taurus. So you're currently opposite of where you're supposed to be. Like literally, you're in your opposition. So what I'm saying is, you in your mode in Scorpio and you in your mode in Taurus. So right now, for the last 2 years, you've seen a significant increase in your personal possessions, and if you haven't, you will. So that's where you're at when we're talking about your life. You're in Taurus. So your personal possessions right now are going to be the life lessons. There's something you're going through, and you've been going through for the last 2 years, but you got 8 more years of it that's concerning your personal possessions. Now, if you're dealing with something physical, then if you're dealing with something physical that just came up in the last 2 years, it'll be something concerning your ears or your nose. I think it's your nose, something like that. Go ahead and talk to me, Earthly.
My breathing, I had to get an albuterol treatment.
Okay, yeah. So that's just where you're at, right? But what I'm trying to get you to understand, more importantly, is that this life lesson is about personal possessions. Something going on with your personal possessions, and it's something about growth and development in that area that you're going to learn.
That's true. I inherited $154,000 from a loved one, but then I lost 5: my mother, my brother, my spouse, and my niece all died within that 2 years that you're talking about, and I needed to just leave the state. So it was too many tombs, so I left the state and came to another state, and I was everybody. I've always been everybody's. You're the strong one. That's why we come to you, and that's why we pay folks' mortgage and this and that. But when I needed one thing, I couldn't hear from all of those folks. And that,
let me show you something though. I want you to stop right there, because I want you to stop right there, Earthly, because I hear you. I already hear you. I want you to stop right there, because I didn't tell you this, but this number 7 right here, I hear it in you. So this number 7 right here, it represents the pituitary gland. Anybody know what that is? Somebody tell her on the chat what that means. When you're the pituitary gland, you can be suffering from delusion and loneliness, and you can be around a whole bunch of folk and you can still feel this loneliness. You could be around a whole bunch of people and you can still be delusional that you don't have anybody. You can think that you think that you don't have nobody. And I'm telling you, you have a tendency of that from birth. This ain't just started in you. I ain't talking about the folk now. I'm talking about you, Earthly. We ain't talking about these folk around you and what they don't do to you. No, we on your ass like Greg. We talking about Earthly. Earthly already is coming into the paradigm with a tendency to be delusional and feel lonely. So there has to be an extra exerted effort in you to understand how to look at people as a valuable piece to your puzzle, because you have a tendency of already feeling like that, despite how close or how not close your family could be. We're talking about you now. Now, on top of that delusion and loneliness, okay, there can also be some grief and depression. I mean, there can also be some guilt. There can also be some guilt and unforgiveness done. Okay? See, this is the stuff that keep us sick. It ain't the diseases. It's the emotions behind our life. Okay? Earth, water, water, earth. So there go your 2 waters, and watch the earth right here. Stress and worry or anxiety, and then doubt and trust. If you got your owner's manual, these would be your spiritual tendencies. Now you tell me, okay, I'm dealing with what you say your issues were?
Postmenopausal stuff.
Hormonal stuff, right?
Yeah.
Hormonal stuff. The hormonal stuff is the zinc and the copper. Have you got your blood test?
Yes.
What was your numbers when it comes to your zinc and your copper and your calcium?
Oh shoot! I I have that stuff with me, but I don't know where the paperwork
no
is.
problem, no problem. You don't remember if you was deficient in any of those things? Did you see any fluctuation?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Deficient in zinc and calcium and B vitamins.
Yeah. So the zinc and the calcium is going to play a role in those hormones very, very big. One of the best herbs for women and dealing with hormones. Remember, I told you oxytocin can help this as well. Oxytocin is a hormone regulator. So it's all about you being in love with life, getting that peace and contentment again. You can do that within yourself. But if you're looking for something exterior, then obviously we got herbs in the owner's manual that will help you. But for hormones as well, we got stuff like black cohosh in the owner's manual that can help out with all this little menopause stuff. It's one of the better known herbs to help out with menopausal issues as well. That'll be in your owner's manual. But that's something that you can just research on your own. Kelp is also good for hormone balance. Also, not Dunquay, but Vitex, Chasteberry tree is going to be very good for hormone in women's, red raspberry. So those are just a few herbs out there that can help you out. But again, if we're not dealing with this guilt and unforgiveness thing, because I think that's the culprit from that's coming with the hormones. There's something going on. We ain't got to talk about it on here because it's free TV. But if you want to go more deeper so we can free you from these things, please get your owner's manual. We can do that for you, okay?
Definitely getting the owner's manual today.
Okay, well, I appreciate you. Just DM me and we'll get you all the information that you need.
Thank you. Blessings to you and your family.
Yes, ma'am. You too. Peace. Yo, welcome to the HerbMan Show. What's going on, Jason?
Hi, how are you?
Hey, what's going on, Chief? How can I help?
Well, I want to do this thing with my birthday and see where I'm at.
All right, you got some health issues?
Yeah, I got gut issues,
Okay.
massive brain fog, just fatigue. I feel like I'm wore out all the time.
All right, let's see what you got there, man. Give me a birthday.
February 16th, 1980.
You said February to what now?
16th?
2/16?
Yes, 1980.
2/16/80. Okay, so we always look at it like 121 to 221, right? So that's an Aquarius. Okay, so the Aquarius is going to be an air sign. The opposite of an Aquarius is a Leo. So that's your fire sign. Okay, now we're looking for the model number. So we're going to do like a breakdown, like a life path number. So 2/16 is 18. All right, and then so 8 plus 1 is 9. So we get 9 from the month and the date. So we got to remember 9. And then 1980 is eventually going to be 18. 8 plus 1 is 9. So 9 and 9 is 18. 1 and 8 is 9. So you just destined to be a 9. Okay? All right. And then so that's going to make you an air, fire. So this means that the opposite of earthly, she was double water, which is double emotional. You are double what we call mental, right? So mental. So very smart, very intelligent, but the excessiveness can cause overthinking, can cause sleep issues, nervous system issues, digestive issues, et cetera, okay? So you got to make sure of that. Now, looking at this from this standpoint, the biggest spiritual tendency when we're looking at number 9 here is going to be attachment issues, okay? Attachment issues, right? So that's the number 9 there. Also, we're looking at self-control. Self-control issues will be the one thing I'll point to if you got digestive problems, okay? And then if you're dealing with sleep problems, we'll look at the attachment issues. And then this air is going to be grief. So if you're dealing with any kind of autoimmune, immune system issues, allergies, grief and depression. All right. So now we understand that. We can go over here, and this is where you start at. Your starting point is your finishing point. This is the destination. Get you back to Aries around this wheel of life. Okay. And considering the fact that if we say 221, we'll give you 5 days in. So that's 3 days is a year. And then so that's a year and 8 months. So you did a year, 8 months of Aquarius. Okay. and you're going to be 45 years old. So you did a year and 8 months of Aquarius, 11 years and 8 months by the time you finish Pisces, 21 years and 8 months by the time you finish Aries, 31 years and 8 months by the time you finish Taurus, 41 years and 8 months by the time you finish Gemini, 51 years and 8 months by the time you finish Cancer. So if you're 41 years and 8 months by the time you get into Cancer, then you are 3 years and 4 months into Cancer, which means you're in the second decan. Okay, so I'll be looking at body fat issues. Okay, if I'm looking for something currently, watch your metabolism, watch your body fat. But also you're in the middle of handling some home and family affairs, something going on with either your mother or something going on between you and the children. There's something going on like that. That's where you at. So now this Cancer thing here is telling you to deal with home and family. So if you're not willing to deal with that, then you're going to be going against nature. If you're looking for anything else, you're going to be going against nature. And the life lesson here is to keep things together. Okay? Stay together. That's the lesson. You understand me, my brother Jason?
I think so.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess the mother thing I get, she's more, well, we don't really talk that much.
The lesson is keep it together. I know it's going to be hard. You're just now getting in here. You only been there 2 years, so you got 8 more years of what's going to happen between you and mama now, or you and the mother's children. Is something going on with you and mama, or you and your children. But that situation is going to fester for another 8 years. You got to learn what that's teaching you. You got to keep it together.
Okay. That's wow. That's interesting.
Okay.
I have 8 more years.
Hey, look, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard as family. You know, family are the people that can get on your nerves the most and can create this dynamic that you'll leave a motherfucker. If you ain't never left nobody else, you'll leave somebody from your family because they can hurt you the most. But in this point, the life lesson, if you keep ducking and you keep boxing through it, you won't figure out what it's teaching me. Like, what the fuck, man? I just want to get the fuck away. And y'all leave me the fuck alone and just go on your way. But the life lesson is for you to keep it together.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
You're right. I do sometimes just want to get the fuck away.
I already know how it be because I got the same thing going on, so I understand. So that's the biggest thing. But when you're dealing with the digestion problem, that's going to be self-control, right? So we definitely want to watch our self-control because that can start to deal with. If you look down here with self-control at, if you do your blood test readings, start looking at calcium and magnesium. So if your calcium and your magnesium levels are starting to be too low or too high, they can start to have an effect on your blood sugar. Okay. So we don't want to continue to allow the digestive system to fester, which means that we got to pay more attention to the self-control so that you ain't just out here. You know, I know sometimes you may be emotionally eating and doing things like that, but try to keep it under wraps because if you let that self-control get out of control, the digestive system can take a very big plunge. Why? Because these are just your tendencies off the rip. Okay?
Okay.
All right, man. If you need me, man, holler at me. If you need more information, herbs, anything like that, DM me. We'll get you your owner's man. All right? Peace.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Peace. All right, who's next on here? Welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help you, Leah J?
Hi, good morning. You need my birthday?
I need to know if you got some issues going on.
I do. I have borderline diabetes. My A1C was really elevated. My last blood test I did, really low vitamin D and cholesterol.
So you got a little understanding of your blood test too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your birthday?
May 11th, 1988.
All right, May 11th, 1988. So we normally do it like this from 421 to 521. It's gonna make you a Taurus, right?
Correct.
All right, and so if we say 521, that means that you would have done 10 days in there. So you got 3 years in. Okay, so we'll just put this up here just to keep record. You got 3 years in there. So the model number is going to come from us breaking down your manufacturing date. Your manufacturing date is your birthday. Remember, we talking terminology of the owner's manual. So 5 plus 11 equals 16, right? 1 plus 6 equals 7. So between your birth date and your birth month, we got the number 7. Please remember that, okay? Now, 1988 is eventually going to be 18 plus 8. So that's going to end up being 26. So 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. 1 plus 5 is going to give us 6. So you're model number 6. Now, since we know that you're a Taurus, we know that that's an earth sign. We know that every Taurus opposite is a Scorpio, so that's the water. So we're taking into consideration you, your sun sign, and your opposition, the sun and the dark within you, right? And then this 6 represents the air element, right? So you are earth, water, air being. This means that you can also be privy to a lot of different things, okay? So first and foremost, stress and worry.
Yep.
All right. Doubt and trust can be an issue. Okay. Also, then we're going to go toward guilt and unforgiveness issues. Not being able to forgive. Okay. Then we're going to go to being a little delusional. And also feeling like you are a loner and nobody understands you. That's loneliness. Okay.
Yeah.
Then last but not least, you can also be dealing with or have a tendency to deal with grief and depression. Okay. Now, those are the things that you can have a problem with. Now, I'm going to ask you, what actually do you have a problem with? What actually health concern do you feel like you need to try to make sure that you address it?
Well, you said mental as well, correct?
What'd you say? Mental?
You said you can do mental. Yeah, I have diagnosed depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
As well.
So that's this right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the air sign in you. So that's something going on with you spiritually. That depression is something going on with you spiritually. Now, that stress, that's something going on with you in your life, instability within your life, whether it be financial instability or just you trying to be where you want to be in life. You know, it ain't always got to be about the amount of money, just about not being comfortable with the life that you really think that you should be living out here can cause you to be stressed and worried a lot of times because you don't really have the control that you would like to have. You're a little bit of a control freak, but if you don't have the control, that makes you stressed and that causes you to worry a little bit. And then also with this grief and depression. So my point to you is that these were tendencies that you were born with. Now all you got to do is add these tendencies up to a scenario or to an environmental stimuli, and then there we go. It started to spawn out of control.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm trying to say? Now, hold on real quick. I'm still not finished with you. So you're 37 years old, correct?
Correct.
All right. So each life lesson is 10 years. So 3 years of Taurus, 13 years, 23, 33, 43. So you're right here in Virgo, okay? So from 33 and you're 37, that means that you've done 4 years of Virgo, which means that you're right dab in the middle of Virgo, which means that if you're having any kind of immediate issues, I was saying that within the last year or so, you got to watch your stomach.
Yes, I've definitely been having gut issues for sure.
You got to watch your stomach. It's because that's where you're at. Now, the life lesson of Virgo is telling you to be more restrictive. You get that?
Okay.
Be more restrictive. Well, yes, for the last 4 years or so, you've been health conscious. Yes, for the last 4 years, you've been all about health and you've been all about trying to get yourself into this kind of a routine where you're actually trying to watch out for your health. But at the same time, you need to be more restrictive. Whatever it is that you're doing, you ain't got to tell us. I'm telling you that the life lesson for you to pass this, for you to get through this little stomach issue and get through this little health thing going on with you for the last 4, 5, because you got 10 years in here. That means that you got 6 more in Virgo. So whatever's going on health and fitness wise, be more restrictive. That means create more boundaries. with what you're willing to do, okay, with yourself. That's going to be the tall tale task for you going forward, right? If you can do that, you'll start to see that once you align yourself up with what Virgo is trying to present to you as a life lesson, really a lot of this stress and a lot of this stuff will start to go, because there's a lesson in the restrictiveness that's going to tally to not only your health, but to your life overall.
Okay, perfect.
All right?
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. If you need me, DM me. We'll get you down this, man, okay?
I will. Thank you so much.
All right, peace, peace. All right, you guys. So the emotions are the chemical reactions going on in the body that can be either medicine or toxicity to us. We want to make sure that they're medicines, and we want to be able to create the paradigm. If you only knew that nature knows you, God knows you by name, God knows you by birth date, that you must understand this can be a change in how you view this experience, a flip in how you view this particular paradigm, and then we'll be able to flip your issue. We'll be able to flip your diagnosis. We'll be able to flip your condition the same way you flip your mind. All right. So be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that's, in a nutshell, what we're trying to present to you and show you the science behind this spiritual understanding of life. And what you just experienced there with those last 3 or 4 people is experience, is health through spirit and science. Well, we're just balancing both of them to allow both of them to be able to be holistic and provide a holistic means for all of our health. If you're interested in your owner's manual, please DM me and we'll get you the information that you need. Did you say life lessons are 10 years each? Yes. Life lessons are 10-year span of that lesson. And it's all about many chances you get to try to pass that test. So you might see that we get a lot of chances to be restrictive, or a lot of chances for this chaos of Aries or drama of Aries, a lot of chances for this beauty or this ugliness of Taurus and Scorpio, a lot of chances for this communication or this world view from Gemini or Sagittarius. So we get a lot of opportunities to pass these lessons. When we don't, we create mistakes. And when we create the mistakes, they begin to start to shortcut the lifespan. So you won't make it around because you're too ignorant of these lessons. So these life lessons will take you out the game. If you don't know the lesson, it'll take you out the game. You'll get so stressed that you'll do some crazy shit. You'll either get so stressed and do something to take yourself out, take somebody else out, and then that's how you go out. The stress of not knowing. And that's why the Gnostics and the Gnosis is about the knowing. Those are the people that don't want you to know about. It's stress when you don't know. You're not stressed when you do know. How will you know? How will you know life? Intuition and discernment. Feelings, your feelings. Is that 10 years of high tide or spiritual time? No, the high tides last 60 years. So when you're in a high tide or a low tide, that can happen periodically throughout the day, out the month, out the week. But when you're looking at it from this side of how we teach it, then your masculine side is the low tide and your feminine side is the high tide. But can you have that throughout the day, the week, the month? Oh, yeah. Plenty of high tides throughout the week, the days, the month, all that stuff. And you just got to learn how to ride them. So it's just like trading, right? Trading, you got an overall trend. So the overall trend is that you're in the most high tide of your life. Then now you start catching it in the week, in the day, and then now that starts to really hit on opportunities in your life. If you're on this side of the fence, the trend, the overall trend is you're on the low tide. So you start catching the low tide moments in life. Boom, it's happening. You can just go look at the low tide in the moon, the low tide in your area, the low tide on your state. You can go find this information to know when. And knowing is half the battle, G.I. Joe. Okay? G.I. Joe, knowing is half the battle. Anybody else got any kind of other questions, you guys? Any other concerns? If not, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here, man. I appreciate all of the 134,000 likes. We'll come back tomorrow, same back time, same back channel. Okay? So if you know somebody that needs somebody to help them for a little bit of nothing, for a funky, measly little $50, okay? Funky, measly little $50, you put your health back into your own hands and you're going to be able to heal yourself. I promise you that, okay? This stuff is very effective and it is the future of medicine. And we're going to make sure that, because we're going to keep creating this movement as we continue to keep living. I'm just getting started, you guys. By the time I get 80 years old, we will have made the impact that we are trying to do from now. Okay. So we love you guys, man. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time, love HerbMan. Woo-say! Yes, sir. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Yes, sir. Peace, peace, peace.